It's definitely time to come home to who you really are. And you know exactly what I mean by that. I don't even have to explain it to you. You know, we've been around the block enough times now, so to speak, that we just innately recognize the false within us and the false that we carry with us. Not in us, but that we carry like bags. Such things like masks that people wear, personas, ideas of ourselves that we desperately try to project forward. Some of us carry other sorts of things that aren't the true self homecoming. Sometimes that's relationships or work or even our own focus, what we focus on in life. You ever thought about that? That your focus may be false at times? Well, honestly, we don't tend to think too much about those sorts of things, do we? No. We don't tend to think very often about the things that we're carrying with us and within us that don't belong to our true authentic self, who it is that we really are, you might say. We don't spend much time thinking about that, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're so busy living our persona, living our life, living this identity as this self. You know, we've got this whole story that's so damn important to us. And we get so zoomed into that story sometimes, don't we? Well, it's time to come home to the truth of who you really are. We both know it. You know, we can only be here sharing this moment together because we both know it's true. Thank you for the light shining from the inside. It's where it shines from, within you and through you. Imagine a light shining right here, this powerful beam, okay? And this is simply to provide you a visual here, okay? Here's this beam of light shining. And here I am holding something in front of it. You see, the light is still shining, and it even gets around some of the cracks because it's a powerful, bright light within you, shining always. But you hold this in front of you, it obstructs the light. You yourself are holding something in front of the light and are obstructing the beam and the truth of who you are. Now, this wood chip I'm holding here was to provide you a visual, but what are some of the things that we hold? Here's the funny thing. The very goals that you're trying to achieve in your life, the things that you obsessively focus on or you're trying to create for yourself, okay, this whole reality you're trying to create, whatever it is you got going on, no judgment, I get it, I've been there, but I'm telling you right now, that's a wood chip you're holding in front of the beam of light. Okay, you're not letting the full you come through because you're busy holding something. You're holding this goal in front of you. Look at this. You're holding this goal you're trying to achieve in front of you. How can you see what's actually going on in front of you? And how can the true presence of who you are beam through into reality and move through you gracefully, majestically, as it is always doing? But you obstruct it with your idea of what you think you want. You also obstruct it and hold things in front of it, like props and outfits and personas and identities and stories of who you think you are, who you think you're supposed to be, who you're busy trying to convince yourself and everyone else around you you are. I say to you, you drop this falseness. Why? Because you do not need to tell the story of who you are, because who you are simply is. It's not something you have to tell everyone. It's just who you are. It's not something you have to find either. You don't have to go out into the world and try to find yourself as many people do. You're right here. All you have to do is let it all go. Everything. Let it all go. And I know how terrifying that can be, to let go of who you think you are. Because that idea of you, it comes with hopes, dreams, beliefs, faiths even. It comes with your past and your story and everything that you feel about who you are. And I know it's scary to let all that go, because you wonder, who will you be if you drop everything? Who will you be then? And I'm telling you, if you drop everything, who you will be is real. Who you will be is a power, undeniable, undeniable, a presence felt and seen in every moment. Because you are no longer holding anything in front of this light. You're not obstructing it. It just is coming through, you know? It just is coming through. You're not the one doing things. You're not the one creating anymore. It's the true presence creating and living and breathing through you. Spirit, God, source, infinite creation, infinite boundlessness, whatever you want to call it, it moves through you. And it's undeniable. And it's just the truth that this spark of the Creator is in you. And it wants to be set free. You keep holding things in front of it. You keep trying to force it to be what you think you want to be in this life. But I say to you, everything begins in this moment when you drop everything. Because if something is really who you are, do you not understand that you do not need to hold on to it for it to be who you are? You can let it go. And if it's really yours, so to speak, then it will still be here in this moment. If a relationship is really meant for you in your life, you don't have to cling to it with such serious attachment. Because if it really is for you, if it really is true to who you are, then it will be here regardless. Certain things that you do and say and create in your life, like the videos that are created through me, just a vessel for it. It's just infinite creator moving through me. I'm not the one making this video. I don't even know what I'm saying. I just let everything go. Don't obstruct the light. Things are said, things are felt, things are expressed. But you know, there was a time in my life where I dropped everything. I even dropped making videos. I dropped all my ideas of myself because I wanted to see what would be here if I wasn't busy holding it up, if I wasn't trying to create it, if I wasn't believing in it even. What would still be here? Making videos is just one of those things. I guess it's just part of who I am, so to speak. At the very least, what the I am moves through me and through you, that we share in this co-creation. But life is such a beautiful gift when you hold on to nothing, when you attach to nothing, when you're not trying to create any end result for yourself, but you simply are just here in a state of surrender, letting go, whatever. People call it all kinds of different things, but I'm telling you, my friend, it is the entry point. It is the open door to coming home. The home that we think we'll be able to buy someday. The home we try to find in the security of our financial monies. The home we try to find in a significant other or in the achievement of some goal. Here's that home right now within you. A powerful light and presence of truth, who you really are. Not the self you think you are, but what's there when you let go of the self you think you are. And when that light really breaks through, home. How funny that it was here in you all along, and that you're very searching for that home and trying to find it everywhere outside yourself was the very insanity that kept you from realizing it. Isn't that funny? I think so. Certainly frustrating at times, funny in others. I don't know how vulnerable or authentic you're willing to be with me here. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. It's just not all of us always feel safe to be who we really are and express the truth that rises in us. But I just wanted to ask you, what do you feel is the number one thing that holds you back from this surrender, from this letting go, from this coming home to the truth of who you are? Maybe it's a fear. Maybe it's a idea you have. Maybe it's a goal that you're busy trying to achieve, and you're worried if you stop putting all your energy and focus into it, then you'll lose all your progress. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's a relationship, but I am asking you genuinely, if you're willing to be vulnerable and honest with me, I'd love to be able to look through these comments at the end of this video and see what it is in us. Because I know there's stuff going on in us that keeps us from surrendering to the truth of who we are. And I just want to know. I want to connect with you about this. So thanks for letting me know below what it is for you. And I'll tell you, and just to be honest right back, the number one thing that held me back from a full surrender and letting go for years was actually these videos. I had such this powerful vision of being this YouTuber and traveling the world, and I'm helping so many people, and nice vision, you know, really beautiful, full of lots of love and light, as they say. But I desperately clung to that and tried for that for so long. And the truth is that when you're trying to be something, even if it is in essence part of who you really are, as I've discovered, it doesn't matter, because that trying, that forcefulness, that desperate trying to create something else, trying to be anywhere other than where you are right now in this moment, whether that means getting more subscribers or finally getting to that tropical vacation or making that video that just really helps so many people or whatever it is. These things, they seem nice to us in our mind, but the truth is, they're so often what holds us back. The funny thing is, you let go of all that stuff, you may find that the voice that speaks through you in the videos that you make is so undeniably profound and present and piercing that those things that you were trying to have happen start happening. Now that you've stopped trying to make them happen, what's real in you, that beam of light, now unobstructed by your own forcefulness, shines more brightly than ever before. And I say this to all of you out there who are creators in whatever facet in your life, because we're all creators. When we make dinner, we're creating. When we make love to our lovers, we're creating. When we make videos, when we make music, when we clean, when we do anything, we're creating. And I say to you that the light that creates through you when you fully surrender, your whole idea of yourself is just profound. So that's the number one thing that held me back for years. What was the final breaking point? I just was in so much pain of my life not looking the way that I wanted it to look that I finally just kind of gave up and I surrendered. And from that surrender and the release of the vision of being this big YouTuber, I really let it go. I was like, whatever, you know, I'll just be a dude who lives in the hut in the woods that nobody knows, you know, whatever. If that's really God's plan for me, so to speak, then that's what it is, and I'll be with that. That's okay. You see, that was the nature of the presence and the surrender that opened the door to the truest power and source of light within me, which shines through now in many more moments than it ever had before, simply because I spend much less time obstructing it than I once did. That's all. But in that surrender, the light, the presence of God, that spark of creation, that love in me rose and kept making videos. Not for an end result, not for a goal, not for anything, but because it's simply, for whatever reason, what that spark of creation, that God presence, that love, that light that lives within me, that lives within all of us, wants to do through me. Why? None of my business. I'm just here living my life like everybody else. What about you? Where is it in your life that the divine moves through you? Have you noticed? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've felt it. Where does that take place for you? Thank you. Massive shout out to my patrons on Patreon and YouTube channel members. Thank you for making all of these videos possible for everyone out there to be able to receive 3 days a week here on YouTube. I really appreciate all the support. And if you yourself feel called to support and join on Patreon or join as a YouTube channel member, you get exclusive video content. Depending on what you sign up for and how you're choosing to support and what resonates with you, you get live streams, real-time interaction between us, other sorts of exclusive videos and things like this. So all of that information is tagged in the description of this video, and I appreciate all of you very much. So thanks. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Vibes and Frequencies video. See you there.